This is Earl and Kathy Cooper's Spring 2019 report. In his public ministry, Jesus made three declarations that affect missions today. In Matthew 4:4, he established the foundation for missions as his word, man's greatest need. He said, "Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God." In Matthew 16, Jesus set the agent of missions as the church by saying, "I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it." In Matthew 28, Jesus set the activity of missions as the Great Commission, whereby three activities of going forth are indicated. He said, "Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost, teaching them to observe all things that I have commanded you." By these declarations, Jesus established the key of Christian missions very clearly. It is sowing the seed of the living bread of life, God's holy word. ABWE Canada is sowing the bread of life in many different ways. Through church planting evangelism, medical evangelism, Christian school evangelism, children's ministries evangelism, construction evangelism, and crisis pregnancy evangelism. ABWE Canada is sowing the bread of life in many countries: Canada, in England, in Portugal, in Romania and Serbia, in Togo and the Gambia, West Africa, in Chile, and soon in Argentina and Peru, South America. ABWE Canada is also sowing the bread of life in secure countries of the Mediterranean and South Asia, and in the secure countries of Africa. With the great growth of the church in many developing countries, the need for training church leaders has become critical. As a result, ABWE Canada has developed theological education centers. ABWE Canada is playing a significant role in this commitment to theological education. Of the approximate 50 missionaries from ABWE Canada, no less than 75% are involved in theological education around the world. It is the desire of ABWE Canada to supply qualified theological educators to meet the growing need. In order to complete the task of training nationals at the seminary level, teachers will require a minimum of a Master's of Theology degree and preferably doctorate degrees with strength in Bible languages. Our last mission report update was in August 2017. Let us bring you up to date. The Angola Challenge mentioned in our August report was successfully carried out in late November and early December. This involved the commencement of a Bible college for the Union of Evangelical Baptist Churches of Angola. The first course, entitled Theology Proper, was attended by a total of 54 pastors from the Luanda capital area. The classes were held at a local church in the outskirts of the capital, an impoverished area of the city capital, which God has richly blessed with church growth. Shortly after Earl's return from Angola, the Lord presented Kathy and Earl with another challenge. On December 11th, Earl suffered what was later diagnosed as a dehydration-prompted stroke. Earl was hospitalized for 2 weeks, during which time stroke recovery therapy was commenced. Earl returned to weekend ministry on June 3rd at Liberty Baptist Church in Lindsay for 2 Sundays. He also shared a report and the word at the Grace Family Fellowship Church in Cortland, Ontario, on June 24th. On July 6, Earl and Kathy faced a second health challenge when Earl was involved in a boating accident which resulted in a crushed T12 vertebrae.
After consultation, it was determined that corrective spinal surgery was necessary. This surgery was performed on October 4th at Sunnybrook Hospital. On February 14th, official surgeon confirmation of completed healing and medical release to return to ministry was granted. Although pain medication reduction, along with some side effects, continued until the end of March, Earl began scheduling home ministry on March 3rd at their home church, Riverside Baptist in Huntsville. Our 2019 Theological Education Project continues to be raising support for David and Elise Cooper, missionary appointees to Peru. Kathy and I wish to thank you for your continued encouragement and support. Please continue to pray for God to meet the international theological education needs around the world.